Seats if you can. All right. Well, there we are. Okay. All right. Am I on? I don't think I'm on. Hello, testing. There we go. Okay. We're going to try this again here. Hey, thank you for those of you who are staying for the family meeting. We do these quarterly and online as well. Last one was actually all online for everyone. And so a little bit of a mixture this time around. Basically, you won't be hearing from me that much today. A few things here I want to make mention of, but you'll primarily be hearing from a number of our staff on everything ranging from youth ministry, children's ministry, and budget stuff coming up, and some other things that we're going to talk about here. A couple things that I want to just mention. Obviously, this has been just the craziest possible year you could ever imagine. And when we started the church, that was stressful enough. This has without a doubt been the most stressful year since the first year that we started the church. And so I just want to say thank you to you, whether online still or here in person. Thank you for being a part of helping to reopen City Church. We know the stats. Our very own Brooke Hempel, who works with Barna, Barna's research earlier in the summer in July was saying that 1 of every 3 practicing Christians, meaning those who are regularly attending church, have dropped out of church altogether. That was as of July, by the way. I can only suspect that it could be even worse. Who knows, depending on whether churches have reopened or not. And so it's a significant thing that we're dealing with as a church family. This is historic. It's not something that I think we'll easily forget about. Certainly, I think at the end of our lives, collectively, we'll look back at 2020 and say this has been a year unlike any other. And we don't know yet, obviously, how this is going to impact both our local church, City Church, but also the global church family. But what we do know is that God is on the move, and that God's mission is not hampered because of a virus. That the church is not going to go away because of this. In fact, all points point to the flourishing of the church until new heavens and new earth will be one, right? So it's just a reminder to us that to see the forest for the trees right now. That's what I wanted to share with you initially here. Is just remember that despite the anxiety, whether it be political, physical, with the infection, whatever it might be, remember the big picture. Remember that we are part of a grander story. And so as staff, we've been thinking a lot about that as we reopen the church, that we have to gain perspective. We have to remember that we're part of something bigger than just the initial stress points. Beyond that, I would just say a couple things. One is, I mentioned the task force. I just want to give thanks, and I don't know that I've done that by naming our task force members. In addition to Dan, a fellow pastor, serving on that task force, and Dan has done some of the lion's share of work as in terms of navigating from the task force to the staff, basically implementation. Dan has done a tremendous job on that. But John Francis was up here a second ago, and unfortunately we're losing him to the World Health Organization. I don't think the WHO's going to loan him to us for a task force meeting on Zoom. And so it's probably not going to, he's already told us that it's probably not going to happen, especially because the meeting's will be at 3 a.m. for him. So we're going to be losing him, but we're grateful for him. In addition to that, Eunice Che, Weston Eunice Che are part of our church. Hopefully the Che's are online with us right now, but just grateful for Eunice and Chris Van Beneden. Chris Van Benen actually lost her mother just a couple days ago. Be praying for the funerals this weekend, as I understand it, up in Wheeling, West Virginia. But she has been a great member of us, also working for the CDC. Jim Giannakakis is a doctor in our church family. He's been helping with us as well. Ian Plum also works for the CDC. He's been part of this as well, and he's been doing a great job, by the way, Ian especially, of ensuring that every time we're together, we have a screen in front of us. We're looking at rates of infection and so forth, and he's helping us to kind of sort through and parse through the different data points that we're looking at. Otherwise, Dan and I would just be like, we have no idea what we're looking at here. So I tell you that I mentioned them to say thank you. Thank you to our task force members. They've really helped me and Dan out. And I don't think they are celebrated enough for the work they do. This is a big year, and they are stepping up. Last thing I want to do before I introduce Nikki Sullivan is remind you that on November 8th, we are having a panel discussion, a conversation really, around race and ethnicity and culture. And so that's going to be in the evening time. I don't think that we've set the exact time for that. And we'll be working on an Eventbrite ticketing system that we'll probably be putting out this week in preparation for that. I know that we've mentioned that date to you, but we just want to encourage you to save the date and be part of that with us. And much like what we do currently